Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Pi Records, and I've been waiting all week to talk to Noah Drumright from Otitis Media Records. How are you?
Good, man. Real good.
I forgot my
here.
Godzilla in the other room.
Yeah, I know. You should have brought your Godzilla, man. We could have a fight. This is the what? Is this the? I'm sure there's Godzilla nerds out there that know what exactly Godzilla this is.
I don't know which one.
From the 50s,
that's
maybe?
the one with the spiky back.
This is the goofy one that does the kick like this on his tail. Like, yeah, there's that one. I got Arnie in the background. I got Homer. So I got,
nice.
I got all my muscle here. What's up, man? How you been?
Awesome. It's been quite a year.
I know.
I want to congratulate you personally on winning your Grammy from Storm Surge of Reverb.
Yeah, how about that, man? That was awesome.
Yeah, and
cool.
really showed like with all the comments and responses how many people just love what you do. Oh
man, well, it's a team effort from, like, Chris and I. We really, I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for my brother Chris Spurrier. He's the one that started this whole thing, kind of prodded me to put out the Total Death 7-inch, and that whole thing just got this rolling. So I always give props to him. But I also agree with that Grammy thing, like that. It had to have been a hard decision, because I think all the other labels have been putting out really cool, awesome stuff. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just I can imagine that was a hard choice, but man, we're honored and we're thankful, and we thank all the bands that have been gracious enough to let us put out their stuff, and living the dream, man. It's pretty cool.
You have quite a knack, and in our last interview we talked about it. You just have a knack for picking the right bands to put out. I mean, like, I remember, I don't know, 20 years ago maybe, the Mag 7 had a couple of CDs out, and here I hear you're reissuing one on vinyl, and I'm like, that's like Donnie, Bill. I'm like, how the hell did he get a hold of that?
Oh, I mean, Donnie is the one that got a hold of me, because I guess his brother stumbled across our Total Death 7-inch from Green Noise Records. So that's how that happened. And then he messaged me, about us being in Texas, and telling me about his love for surf minstrel music, and it just kind of, I don't know, man. I guess the conversations, kind of went from A to B to C to Z, and we started talking about the Mac 7, and I mentioned, I was like, oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. And then somehow, I found out that that album there had never been released on vinyl, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. So then, that one thing led to another, and I was able to, get the license to put it out on vinyl, 500 of them. So,
oh, wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Donnie and I talked for like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, no, they're both amazing dudes, like him and his brother. So yeah, I'm honored. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just talking to Donnie Blair. It's crazy.
Maybe you could get that Hagfish album too.
Ever. What's that?
Maybe you could get that Hagfish album too.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think someone else is doing that stuff. But I'm sure he'll tell me if they're not.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. I'm really excited about his album, The Tulsa Doom, which is another album that I'm doing the artwork to. I'm kind of like, I'm having a little artist block with it right now. I think he likes the cover. He likes the design that I have, but I'm just kind of beating myself up over it. Like, when you're making something and you're like, you could add a little more, but you could fuck it up if you add too much.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Or keep it simple, and hey, it works, The music's all there. It's all good. So at least that'll be really good. I just want to make sure the art that I'm doing is, up to his, awesomeness of music there. Awesomeness, or whatever.
So speaking of releases, I can see behind you this great vinyl rack you have of all past year and a half worth of releases.
Yeah, all there. Yeah.
All the way from Mullet Monster Mafia to Surf You Next Tuesday.
One
Two,
and two.
The Revenge,
Yeah, yeah.
and Action
Surfing
Frank. And you sent me that the other day to listen to. And oh my God, it reminded me of when I was a young punk rocker.
Right, it's so fast, just the way it starts off. It's refreshing, actually. That's one thing with our label is that I'm not gonna. And me and Chris, we decided early on, like we don't want to just stick to one genre, one type of like music, not just like traditional surf or whatever. I mean, we listen to all kinds of different music, so we put out whatever we listen to. That's our thing. We'll put out a hardcore punk record or surf instro or jazzy kind of thing,
Yeah.
or more emo, pop punk kind of stuff. Whatever, we'll do what we like, as long as it's something that jives with our what we dig. And so far everything, and we do. I mean, we get a lot of submissions and people that send us stuff, and we do kind of pick through. We listen to everything. We listen to everything someone sends us, and can't put out everything obviously, but it's like we do like, okay, this is something that'll work. I think that'll and I think it's mainly because I mean, I think from a musician standpoint, like what kind of person would I want putting out my record, and I try to be that person. Real DIY. Hey man, I'm just helping you get these physically made. You once you get your part of them, you do whatever you want with them, and that's all there is to it. Because that's us. When we were playing in the 90s and whatever, that's what we never really had. That we never had someone that really just like helped us get our thing made. We had to like, it was like blind leading the blind, leading the drunk.
Like you get
we were drunk a lot.
You get lucky and do a split with somebody and split the
exactly,
cost.
Yeah, well, we did have one friend, Luther Cano. He put out our first split 7-inch with a band called The Fuzz from California. Then of course we had other friends here that had a record label, TFC Records, and they're still around. They put out a couple of our 7-inches too. So I should probably take that back, but we didn't have anybody, because we did have somebody. We did have friends that did that, but yeah, I guess I need to retract all that because we did get a couple records, but for the most part, we were just like kind of like whatever. Anyways,
so today I had, as usual, a ton of interviews on the weekend, but just as luck would have it, you and I indirectly cross paths, and at the right time, it just seems to work out that way sometimes with you and I. As far as what you're putting out and what I'm promoting, it's a good synergy, and I don't know how it happens. It's like total shot in the dark. But today I had the Strings of Flame, and I had the Del Vipers, both of who you work for or you're working with. And I see right behind you there, the Strings of Flame artwork. It's beautiful, man.
I know. The artwork is amazing. I don't have the vinyl in this, so it's just the cover right here. But I'm sure y'all have seen pictures. But man, this album just came out. I just shipped the band their first set of copies today, so hopefully they'll have them by Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm praying. So yeah, this thing is an amazing, and it sounds incredible. So you can get it on the physical. You can get on our .com, the TitusMediaRecords.com, and you can also, it'll come with the digital download, of course. And then if you just want the digital, you can go to Bandcamp, because we just loaded those up today, because we're throwing stuff back up on Bandcamp just to help those digital people out. And I guess it's a good idea, because some people like to hear things before they buy them.
Yeah, totally.
I noticed as soon as we did that, like, I actually sold a couple. It's probably because people were like, okay, it sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll buy it. So that was a good thing, I think.
Wow.
Oh, they're amazing though too. That band is awesome.
One connection I was able to make in that interview today was that the bass player is from Thalassus, and is out helping Sismalakian.
Yeah, she's pretty good, man. They're all really great musicians.
Yeah.
That whole all those that group from Mexico City, like Los
Yeah,
Canuas and Sis and
yeah.
and these guys, they're amazing. Like I'm like, holy crap,
It
musicianship is top notch.
just just being on the internet, when the the presence of unknown creatures, just it was kind of like everywhere you turned, you were hearing about it. Not just from you guys and from Sis, but it was everywhere. And that album
Yeah,
turned
it's
out
good.
really fantastic. Like,
Yeah,
tell me about
definitely,
what went
man.
into making that.
Well, I think I would get little messages from Sis, like telling me about he's doing this stuff, and I was like, well, sure, man. He'd sent me some demos. I think that's what it started, like with his stuff, and then the kind of surfy cumbia stuff. I liked it all. I was like, man, this is great, dude. I mean, and he was like, yeah, I'm recording, and I'd get updates here and there, and he'd send me little snippets, and and then he showed me the artwork, and I was like, wow, it's cool.
Yeah.
One thing about it is that I love, we don't really make a big deal out of it, but I love how that one tentacle comes out and it's like an S,
Yeah.
I don't even know if anybody, I was like, hey, that's a cool little logo for him. I don't think he's really thought of that yet. Or maybe he has, I don't know. But if I was him, I'd be using that little tentacle as an S, for Sis Malaki. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's a great kid. He's only 28. That blew me.
Really?
Yesterday was his birthday, and I was like, you're fucking only 28. He's a young kid,
He
man.
is
Like,
like,
Jesus. I
he
felt
is
really old.
always posting videos of himself playing. Like
Yeah,
that guy is constantly playing. It's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Yeah, he's a workhorse, man. And he plays in different bands and stuff. Great musician, great guy all around. So, yeah, I'm real proud of that record. That was the first record of the year that we started with, and I think it started off the year wonderfully too. Uh, so yeah, hopefully he's moving them down there, and I think people have liked it a lot. It's pretty good. We got some beautiful vinyl colors. We did like a
Yeah.
limited edition like wax mage thing. I've only done wax mages with parasites, and then with Sis I did a wax mage, and then I have a wax mage coming for the Mag 7, that's going to be pretty neat because it's this pattern called Rainbow in the Dark, which is amazing, and it's going to have this cool like foily looking like reflective thing inside of it. So
Oh wow.
yeah, those are going to be cool.
Where are
So,
you getting that pressed?
Got a groove. I did the first 300 with Pirates Press, the that twist, that blue color,
Yeah.
blue, white, black, and then I'm doing another couple, like another set of random color, and then I'm with some wax mage. So those will be out around June.
All right,
So
cool.
just a couple hundred of those. So of the random color. So
One of the opportunities I kind of missed the boat on was the parasites. That's a pretty big deal. You got to put that vinyl out.
oh
Tell me
yeah,
about that
well,
one.
oh man, well, Dave Parasite is when we've been playing with our band Right Turn Clyde. We played with the Parasites quite a few times in the late '90s, I guess, and between Corpus and Austin, whenever they come down, they were touring a lot all the time with back in those days, and so we've always kind of off and on kept in touch. And then the last, I don't know, it was 2015, 16. They came down for a couple of tours. I think 15 and 17, and then so once I started this in 17, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna. Well, they have an album called Punchlines that I was like, oh, that'd be freaking awesome to put that out on vinyl. So one day we were talking, and I'd asked him, approached him about that, and it kind of somehow evolved to retro pop. And retro pop remasters is basically like a greatest hits, which had all my favorite songs on it anyway. And I think Go Kart Records, the label that was gonna put it out, or they put out the CD, the original retro pop CD, a while back. They meant to put it out on vinyl, but they never did it. Like it never got happened. I think the label folded and
Uh,
nothing ever came of it. So I was like, hey, well, there's my record I could put out for you. And then that just snowballed from there. And we did that record, so yeah, hopefully they'll. I think he might have a couple tours or shows coming up here, like in the Chicago area or something. So they could start, because he has his records, like this set of records I gave him. Hopefully he can get them. I'm sure he'll sell them. I mean, it sold pretty good for us, and I think I got a bunch to Japan and to Europe, and so it was cool, and yeah, I'm extremely proud of it. So
one of my favorite records that you put out is the Arno Desea and the Clockwork Wizards.
Oh yeah, Retro Futurisme Volume 2.
So
yeah,
my question is, I heard that you were going to put out the first one. Is that true?
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming here in another. I think June. It's going to be ready. So yeah, I'm doing it's just a small run of like 300, but it'll be awesome because you can't just put out 2 and not put out 1. I think.
Yeah.
Of course, these are American releases, the American version. Well, there's not really much difference. It's just basically the same mix, same everything that they put out in Europe. But their labels that they work with over there, they put out those same vinyl over there. But Arno and them said, "Hey, yeah, man, go ahead, put them out here too." And so the more the merrier, I think. And of course, I think I do all the colors and all that stuff too, and
yeah,
of the vinyl. So I think they like that. I also did. I put both those albums on one CD. That I put part 1 and 2 on a CD, which is awesome. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because CDs are they're kind of coming back, sort of. There's still people that get them, and I know like Sean at Double Crown. He still puts out CDs. Actually, him and I are working on with the Del Vipers.
Yeah.
For the album that we're doing, their new album. We're collaborating, Double Crown Records and Otitis Media Records for the CD for the Del Vipers album. I'm doing the vinyl on 180 gram.
Yeah.
And Sean and I are going in on the CDs. Man, and that's what's cool about what we're doing. I think when I say we, I mean like all the labels that are out there, the smaller indie labels. You could always start chatting it up with another label, and hey, next thing you know, you're kind of going in halves on an album, or 3 ways on an album with 2 other labels. I mean, anything goes right now. I mean, it's a great time to be in a band, I think, because a lot of these bands are just like, hey, like I think they could just throw a dart right now and get a good little small indie label that'll put them out.
In the last couple of years, did you see? I don't know. I just feel like there's a whole lot more rock music being made. Like I would say for about 10 years, you couldn't find a lot of rock music on the radio, and now I feel like it. The last couple of years there's been a lot more rock music. Would you think so?
Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot to me. I mean, I don't know if it's just because now I'm paying a little more attention than I used to. That's because I'm on this side of it rather than the just kind of self-centered, making my own music kind of side of it. I do see there's a lot of bands out there. There's definitely a lot of surf instro bands. Like, oh my God, like there's just so many out there that I didn't realize. I mean, I knew it was always kind of a big thing, but it's all worldwide. It's just like, it's almost to me like a universal musical language, surf instrumental music. It's because you don't have to listen to, different languages. It's all, we all speak the language of, reverby rock and roll guitars and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
That all of us that dig that music. So I don't know. Yeah, there is a lot of more. I mean, it seems like there's a lot more rock and roll out there, which is good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So you took this big project on, a double comp. I want you to start from the beginning. And why did you want to make this one twice as big as the last?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I finished the first one, right? Like, and I started to. Hey, sorry, my dog's barking out there at the neighbors. I started immediately on part two. I started, messaging bands that had already kind of, a couple of them had already been on part one. So that was easy. Like, hey, man, you got a single. I guess the idea at first was to do like a, comp specific songs that were, unique to the comp. But I know that's hard because some bands are like, they have to go in the studio and they got to pay money and they got to do all this stuff. So obviously, a lot of the, there's a bunch of songs on here that have been on other releases or other things, digitally, or other albums that the bands, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, in some instances, I kind of took what I could get, and I'm still happy with it. There were songs I liked. I didn't just, pick random songs. It was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put that song on there. That'd be cool. And the initial thing with the double album, which I was like, okay, well, we might as well. How hard could it be? I started thinking like, well, comps are a pain in the butt to put together in the first place because, you do a lot of, you have different mixes, you have different sounds, you have different volumes, all that stuff. So you got to get mastered. You got to make it all sound kind of, seamless for the most part. Yeah, they have their different sounds, each band, but you don't want it to just be like a shocking, level thing. I don't know. It's hard because I do, when I get the music, I'm like, oh crap, this song sounds so boomy. This song sounds so like mellow, like, so there's a lot of playing with the sounds. And I don't know how many times, like, there's probably on my computer, like half my hard drive is taken up with different versions of this thing, like the segue of the songs. Because, you put songs, I put them in, I listen to like the energy or the vibe of the song, and then I listen to the last few seconds on how the song ends, and then I plug in beginnings of other songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to hear how they sound going from one to the next. And
God.
And I did so many different freaking trials, and oh my God, that to me takes the longest. But at the same time, I was thinking, hey, I'll do the artwork for it, because the other one I commissioned Ilham Low Skill, and he did an amazing job for that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always get compliments on his art, and all the art he does is amazing. But I thought, you know what? I mean, I think I could do it. I think I could do
it looks
this,
good, man.
And I was like, oh, dude, and like, it was one of those regretful things where I was like, what was I thinking? As soon as I started, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do an album that looks like that, and I was trying to keep some of the same characters and then make up some new ones and do all that. But it took, if you look at my posts over the year or something, when I first started drawing these things and fleshing them out, I mean, it took a while, there even was a point where I didn't do anything for months, because you get like, just like a writer gets writer's block, like I think artists kind of get like, they're up against the wall and they're like, man, I don't know where to go from here, so I gave up for a few months. In the meantime, I was doing like, mixing and doing all, not mixing, but playing with mastering stuff and whatever, and trying to get all the, it takes a while to collect all these songs, and there's 33 on here. It was just going to be 32, but I got there was one band from Brazil called Os Cavaleiros Temporários, and I don't know, they wear night gear. They're I mean, like medieval knights. Have you seen them?
Oh yeah.
They're really good. They're a good band, and they hit me up, about it. They were kind of a late entry, which is funny because like on one of the labels, like I totally didn't. I don't. Nobody's really called me out on it yet, but on the label for their side of their record, the side that they're on, I think it's maybe this one. Like I totally forgot to put them on there, so there's no Os Cavaleiros Temporarios, but they're on the record itself. And of course, I listed them here and did all that. But I did I did a gatefold. So sorry, I'm gonna kind of, yeah, there you go.
Wow.
So you get the whole picture in there, you know?
I love gatefolds.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And this, I'm pretty proud of it. And then you open it up and you got all the little characters from the front, but and then some. And you got all the bands and songs and all that good stuff. And then, of course, you know, you have for this run, I did you got the like half and half with splatter, kind of really
Wow.
cool, like sweet colors.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, man, I'm super pumped on this. And like, here's the other one here. I'll show this one off too. Might as well, right? And you know, when I was doing this too, I was thinking, well, yeah, it's a double comp. People like it. It's got, you know, Satan's Pilgrims, has Messer Chups, Evan Foster. I mean, it really just kind of like when you listen to it, it's just kind of like keeps getting you,
Yeah.
you know. Has the routes, you know. Oh yeah, it's I'm proud of it, man. I'm proud of it.
Awesome.
I hope people like it. I hope the bands. I'm sure, you know, I've gotten. It takes a while to get the bands their copies and
Yeah.
to give them, you know, whatever. Find out if they want to sell them at shows or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. So it's like a slow trickle, kind of getting them out there. But it does make me happy, like when I see them like post about it, like how stoked they are, you know, being on it and stuff like that. And that means a lot to me. That's all a thank you I need, you know.
Yeah, that's a job well done when the band
Yeah.
has the record in their hand.
No, dude. Yeah, no. Like I said, like I was talking to you earlier. Like that's when I feel complete. You know, like I feel like the job is complete when the bands get their records and they can, you know, sell them at shows. Oh yeah, and I did this like poster too. This
Oh,
is all
nice.
part of it too. Like we got the poster. I was pretty hyped because one guy said that his kid like hung it up in his room, and then it has like the inserty part with all
Oh, that's
the band.
awesome. You
And
have
of course I
Nuclear
did.
Juarez on there.
Oh yeah, dude. Rad song called Debt Collector. Really cool. Yep. Joro Jones.
That's awesome.
Retro Fuguetes. Oh, is this like backwards? Is this showing backwards on here? Guantanamo.
No, I can see him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. No problem.
That's
I'm sure
did
people
you hear
figure it out.
that Surf Aliens 10-inch?
Oh yeah. I have some on our distro on our website.
Did
Yeah,
you
that thing rules.
It's really good.
And Christian, he just told me I think they're back in business too. I think they were having I don't know, they were swapping out bass players or doing something like that. So so I'm excited about that. We have you know, that CD that we put out of theirs, which is amazing. Where's that little sucker at? It's around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I have this coming out on vinyl, like a 7-inch 45. So, because this is really good. I'm sure you've heard it, but
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Surf Aliens from Brazil.
Yeah,
They're one of our one of our earlier bands. That all the early bands, man, like Ted Boys Marinos and of course Terra Motor, all the ones that kind of stood with us in the beginning. Like we'll always be loyal to them. You know, I think loyalty is very important with bands and an indie label like us. You know, yeah, we love those bands because when we first like Ted Boys Marinos, like those guys are. I don't know if you've heard that album, but that's such a good album that we released on CD initially. Chris, you know, did that one. Now I'm putting it out on 180 gram vinyl. That'll be out this summer, I think.
Yeah.
Too. I got a lot of stuff coming this summer, so
well,
I think people are gonna be pretty sick of Titus Media Records because we're just gonna be.
Tell me what's coming out this summer.
What's that?
Tell me what's coming out this summer.
Oh, dude. Okay. Well, Fusiyama Surfers. Those guys are coming next week. 3 different variants of vinyl. Obi strip, like that album. The little CD itself is doing pretty good, but that the vinyl is, I think, going to do real good. And those guys are playing a lot in Japan, so I think they're going to do good, right, Godzilla? You're gonna like that, Godzilla? Yeah. Anyways, and the Kudas, I think you interviewed him, right?
Yeah,
Kudas.
they're really good. He's a really good guy.
yeah, I have that coming out on the little 45. That really cool EP of his. Um, we have Los Dedos. That's another little EP coming out. The March of the Crabs. They just released a little video recently. I don't know if you saw that, but it's really cute, man. Like stop motion animation. And of course, the music's amazing because they rule from the UK.
I like them. I like them.
Del Vipers. I'm doing a. They had released a CD, that Cannibal Safari on CD with Double Crown, and I'm just putting out a little short run of them on like blood spattered vinyl. And then, of course, that's kind of like a little. Honestly, I don't know what's going to come out first. Their new full length or the that Cannibal Safari 7-inch, but the full length is a beautiful album that Ross did. It's with his band, of course. You interviewed them. Did you interview all three of them or just Ross?
Just Ross today.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's a pretty amazing dude, man. An amazing musician.
Yeah.
And that album's awesome. So 180 gram vinyl is what he was hoping for, and that's what we're getting him. So
yeah, it's what he was
got
talking
a really
about.
really cool cover, man, with this like chick and the reflections of Tiger, and yeah, it's pretty sweet. I'm pretty stoked on that one. Arno Desea, Retro Futurisme Volume 1. I'm doing I guess it's a reissue or maybe an American version of the Routes first instrumentals album, which I love. You know, it's got a real garagey kind of quality to it. I think it was Chris's first instrumental album that they did, and he designed a whole like cool looking cover with, it's gonna have an Obi, and I think there's like 2 different vinyl variants for that one. That's coming out soon, I think July. And we have some punk rock stuff coming out too. We did the Action Frank, but we also have a really good pop punk record by a band called Dropped Out from Austin, and they're like one of the best like pop punk bands I think around right now. Like no shit, like their songs are just so good, so catchy. They're just really good. So I'm really proud of that one, and that's like actually listed as our 50th release. So we'll have that one out on vinyl, and we'll have that out on I think CD too, something. But yeah, those guys they're doing real good too. Did you interview Dropped Out?
No.
Okay, we need to get them with you because they're great guys. Yeah. So and then another band from San Antonio called Nothing Lost, and that's some pretty good pop punk stuff too. We did the CD. The CD is actually already done. We just need their vinyl. And that's coming out pretty soon. The summer too, another summer thing. And then let's see, a really good band here from Corpus called Arcade Hustlers. That they gave me their recording, and it just kind of blew me away. It's a real jazzy, funky kind of thing, and it's really good. Like I hope people dig that one too. Let's see, I got a real cool news that I'm putting out. It's going to be Otitis Media specific record is the new Routes record called Get Past Go, and then it's instrumental, but man, it's good. So those will be on like vinyl. I'm going all out on that one too because I really dig it. Like Chris, that dude Chris Jack is like I don't know how that guy does it, working and family, and he's just so prolific with the albums. Like Jesus, like really, like so it's a good album. I'm real proud of it, and that'll probably be out like in August. Like we're getting into the August zone, and man, I hate this. I know I'm forgetting a few things, but like yeah, I got a few more that are coming down the pipe. So
the one thing,
and I've already started working on Surfing Next Tuesday 3, which is going to be
God.
like a yeah, I know, right? Well, like I said, that's what I did with the last one. I started working, right as soon as it was done, I started working on the next one. So I've already gotten a few songs from bands for the 3rd installment. It's going to be a single album. We're not doing no double or triple album, nothing like that. I did it. I could notch that under. I got that notch on my belt. So yeah, it'll be a long time before I do another double album. but it'll
there's
be good. It'll be in space. I mean, space theme, like I said. So
oh, nice.
they're kind of doing like.
One thing I wanted to mention to you, and because the last time we talked, we were kind of just getting to know each other, and I was just starting out interviewing,
Yeah.
and I may not have asked everything I wanted to, but I did want to say, when I first heard you sent me the records for Noah and the Beyonders, and I'm a huge All fan. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, bing, like the guitars and everything were so fucking tight, and the tone was just exactly what it needed to be for that music. And I just wanted to tell you how much I really like that band.
Oh man, thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot. Yeah, knowing the Beyonders is yeah, that's all. That's my you know, I play with my best friends in the world, my bros here, and you know, we've been playing together forever, and we it's basically, yeah, I'm kind of a dictator. My name's in the title of the band, so they're all songs I wrote, but I you know, write the skeleton, I guess the skeleton, and they pack on all the extra stuff, you know, like
Yeah,
Jerry Moore will do all the bass lines, and you know, and then the guitarists, they add their little things in there too. So it's not all me, you know, but
yeah,
yeah, I just kind of, yeah, that's cool, man. Thank you. It means a lot. I you know, you go through points in your life where you like, I you know, gone through some stuff, and I was like, man, I really don't know how to get this out of my system, and that's how I kind of got it out of my system.
yeah.
And there's still more, but I just yeah, I've been a little distracted with all this stuff. But no, there's more. I have a whole other album, but I have the art and everything. I need to have time. The time is what I need, you know. There's just not enough time in the world, you know, right now.
What a lot of people don't realize is folks like me and you have full-time jobs and then do all this stuff because we love doing it.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I worked all week this week, you know, and I had, you know, today off, and then I'm going back, you know, tomorrow. I work shift work, so you know, I'm an ICU nurse, so I work my ICU nurse shifts, and then I'm a firefighter, so I work my firefighter shifts, and we work 24 on, 48 off, and you know, as a nurse, it's 12 hours, so that eats up all your day, and you know, and nights. So
Yeah,
the time I get off, you know, it's I try to whatever I can, of course, family, you know, when I can, when I'm around, and when they're around or whatever, and then the rest is just trying to catch up and do this stuff. Like this morning was like, it was like energy drink, coffee, packing records, going to the mail, you know, post office before they close at noon, and then going to the mail stop. It's like, oh my God, you know, because I have one day, mow the yard. Just, my yard was getting all crazy. But yeah, I know, man. Being, you know, real life stuff kind of gets on you.
yeah. So before we sign off, Noah, is there anything you want to talk about I didn't mention?
You know, I just want to thank you, you know, and I don't know, I'm going to send you one of these comps, but I did make sure I put a little paragraph in there giving shout outs to, you know, everybody that's helped us, and you've been such a freaking awesome help, man, and not just to me and our label, but to all the labels and all the bands. I mean, you're doing a great thing for everybody, and I'm sure everybody, you know, feels the sentiment like, we love you, dude. Like, thanks for doing this. Thanks for taking your time and doing all that stuff. It's a big deal what you're doing. So please keep doing it, you know, because I think it inspires others to keep doing what they do, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, it's only going to get to be only gonna get more. The channel is just growing.
Yeah, I know.
There's going to be a lot of like
many different things.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more segments that are happening weekly.
Very cool.
But yeah, I really appreciate that, Noah.
Yeah, man.
I just want to talk about music.
yeah. Dude, music is it's life. So I mean, and I'm sure everybody, you know, all these bands, and you know, the struggles that musicians go through, you know, just playing, finding their time to do what they do.
Yeah.
you know, I want to convey my love for all of them, like all these bands that have, you know, do all this stuff. It's rough, you know. We just, you know, this pandemic thing really kind of kicked everybody in the ass, and
Yeah.
I think it's nice to see shows happening. It's nice to see bands like promoting the shit out of their badass music, and like it's good, man. It's exciting. It's like I think, like I said, it's a good time to be in a band and play rock and roll. You know, like while you can. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep doing what you do. That's all I gotta say.
You too, man. You too.
Yeah. 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 It's good stuff, man. And thanks for, you know. I know it's cool that you you did you interviewed the Strings of Flame today, and then Del Vipers, and then myself. That's a good thing. That's all Otitis Media love right there.
Yeah, man.
Pretty exciting.
So and sometimes I don't know until I'm in the middle of an interview that somebody's even connected to you in any way.
Yeah, man. Eventually, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, right now, you're like I said, people I think are gonna get a little like, damn, like they got another thing coming out. Like, Jesus, I know my friends. Well, my best friends, I'm always like, hey, man, I got a new record out. You gonna buy it, right? And they're like, oh, dude, are you kidding me? Like, oh my god, okay, like, here's another $30 I got to plunk down. Here you go, Noah. You know, I feel that sometimes. I'm like, oh well, you know, you gotta. That's what bros do. So like, but yeah, right now it's a lot. You know, I'm doing just like you. We're doing a lot, but I'm gonna probably, you know, I'm gonna slow it down a little bit and maybe just like, you know, do things more periodically. You know, I just my big thing with this label and being such a little tiny label, you know, we're up against the odds, I think, because we don't start off with distros and all that stuff. It's a lot of work to get all that stuff, and sometimes you don't get it, you know. And it's like international shipping right now sucks, you know. Like, you know, you have people from around the world and other countries that want these records, but they can't fucking get them because it's ridiculous, you know, because they got to pay like basically 3 times what the record is worth just to get the record, you know, and shipping. And it's awful, man. And so you got to meet someone over there who's willing to buy your records, but then, you know, hopefully they'll, you know, cover some of the shipping. The shipping is just, it sucks. It kills everything, I think. I don't know what even got me started on that, but yeah, I guess that's one of the things that we do our best to try to get these things out there. And, you know, I would be ecstatic if, you know, one of these records, and they will eventually, I know, you know, you put them out, you can't expect them to sell out like in a few days. I mean, at least I don't, you know. It's a slow trickle, you know, of them, you know, people picking them up or discovering them or whatever, you know. I don't know. It's you just got to be hopeful and stay positive, you know. So that's what I'm doing every day.
Awesome.
But, yeah, man.
And we all thank you for it, Noah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right back at y'all. So.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go for tonight. But we are gonna do this again. I know we will, because next year we'll have to talk about all the stuff that's come out between June and January. So let's do this again.
All right, definitely, most definitely. Yeah, there'll be a lot from the moment, you know, starting next week. I mean, you see what's coming out, but there's quite a bit more coming. So I'll try to get some to you guys, and that way you could do an unboxing of some of these. And of course enjoy yourself, you know, listening to them. So
yeah, definitely.
But hey, man, thank you so much.
Thank you, Noah.
Yeah, man.